The cross hangs in the air a fraction longer than it should. Defenders track it with cautious eyes. The goalkeeper shifts, uncertain. And then, from nowhere, a body rises sideways, gravity momentarily forgotten, boots slicing through space before striking the ball with impossible precision. The net snaps. The crowd erupts. Commentators lose their composure. Somewhere, millions replay it instantly in their minds. Because when Cristiano Ronaldo leaves the ground, something extraordinary is usually about to happen. This is not just a collection of goals. This is the story of 9 moments when athleticism met audacity, when Ronaldo turned physics into performance art and reminded the world that football can still surprise us. The first spark, learning to fly. Before the packed stadiums and global broadcasts, there was a young Ronaldo testing his body's limits in training grounds far from glamour. He would stay behind after sessions, asking teammates to cross ball after ball into the box. Miss. Adjust. Miss again. Adjust again. The overhead kick is not instinct alone. It is repetition disguised as magic. It requires timing that borders on obsession and confidence that ignores embarrassment. Because for every one that finds the net, dozens crash harmlessly into turf. Ronaldo did not fear the failure. He studied it. And when his first true acrobatic masterpiece arrived at the highest level, it felt less like improvisation and more like destiny-fulfilling rehearsal. The ball floated slightly behind him. Most players would have recycled possession. Ronaldo planted, pivoted, and lifted himself into the air. The strike was clean, the landing controlled. It wasn't just a goal. It was a declaration: I can do what others won't even attempt. The second, when doubt became fuel. There was a period when critics questioned his efficiency. Too flashy, they said. Too eager for spectacle. Then came a match where space was scarce and tension thick. A cross overshot its mark, drifting awkwardly. Ronaldo reacted instantly. Back to goal. No time to think. He threw himself upward, trusting muscle memory over caution. The contact sent the ball screaming into the net. This one was not just acrobatic, it was defiant. He didn't celebrate wildly. He looked toward the stands, almost as if answering unseen voices. Flashy. Perhaps. But effective. The third, silence in Turin. Some goals echo. Others explode. And then there are those that silence an entire stadium before applause slowly rises in reluctant admiration. In Turin, against elite defenders under European lights, the cross was imperfect. Slightly behind. Slightly high. Ronaldo adjusted mid-air like a gymnast, body horizontal, eyes locked. The strike was violent yet precise. For a split second, disbelief swallowed the stadium. Then even rival supporters stood to applaud. This wasn't just athleticism. It was art sculpted in mid-air. The fourth, the league classic. Domestic nights often blur together. Cold air. Tight fixtures. Physical defenders. But one winter evening, as rain slicked the pitch, a looping delivery dropped into the penalty area with awkward bounce. Ronaldo's back was to goal. He sensed the defender pressing. Without glancing, he launched upward, bicycle kick executed with mechanical perfection. The keeper barely moved. Teammates swarmed him. What made this one special wasn't the aesthetics, it was the timing. Late in the match. Level score. Pressure thick as fog. Acrobatics under pressure are courage personified. The fifth, the international stage. Wearing national colors carries a different weight. Crowds chant not just your name, but your country's pride. During a qualifier under blazing lights, Ronaldo found himself surrounded by defenders. The cross came awkwardly. Space vanished. Still, he rose. The bicycle kick ripped through expectation and into the net. He landed and roared, not at opponents, but into the night sky. Acrobatics become poetry when wrapped in patriotism. The sixth, the unexpected angle. Some acrobatic goals begin with perfect positioning. This one began with chaos. A deflected pass spun unpredictably inside the box. Ronaldo reacted before defenders processed the bounce. He twisted, launched sideways, and connected with a scissor-like motion rather than a full bicycle. The ball curled into the corner. Improvisation, not rehearsal. Even he smiled at this one, half disbelief, half satisfaction. The seventh, age is just gravity negotiated. Years passed. Muscles matured. Recovery required more discipline. But one night, with whispers about decline growing louder, Ronaldo answered in the only language he trusts: elevation. A high cross drifted too far for comfort. He leapt, back arched, legs slicing through the air. Contact. Goal. The leap defied not just defenders, but age itself. Commentators spoke of vertical height, hang time, athletic metrics. But what truly stunned viewers was the message. I am still capable of the impossible. The 8th, the comeback catalyst. In a match where his team trailed and urgency hung heavy, Ronaldo chased a hopeful cross into a crowded penalty area. Time felt compressed. He turned mid-stride and executed a lightning-quick overhead strike. The net rippled. Momentum shifted instantly. The goal wasn't just spectacular. It was transformative. Acrobatics can change more than scorelines, they can change belief. The 9th, legacy sealed in motion. The final of these 9 didn't feel like a highlight. It felt like reflection. A veteran now, Ronaldo positioned himself carefully inside the box. The cross came slightly too high. For a fraction of a second, you wondered if he would attempt it again. He did. Upward, backwards, strike, goal. He didn't sprint wildly this time. He simply raised his arms. Because by then, he understood something deeper. Acrobatic goals are not accidents. They are chapters. What makes them different? Plenty of players have scored overhead kicks. Few make them habitual. Ronaldo's acrobatic goals share common threads. Timing that borders on clairvoyance. Preparation built through relentless repetition. Fearlessness in moments when safer choices exist. But beyond technique lies mentality. To leave your feet in a crowded box is to surrender balance and trust instinct completely. It is vulnerability disguised as bravery. And that is why these 9 goals endure. The training ground secrets. Teammates have spoken of sessions where Ronaldo practiced bicycle kicks long after others left. He studied angles. He tested landing techniques to avoid injury. He strengthened core muscles obsessively. When spectators see spectacle, they see seconds. When Ronaldo executes spectacle, he feels years behind it. Each acrobatic strike is a summary of countless unseen repetitions. The crowds roll. There is something uniquely cinematic about overhead kicks. The collective gasp. The half-second of disbelief. The explosion afterward. Stadiums become theaters. And Ronaldo, in those moments, becomes both actor and director. Because he doesn't just score. He stages. Beyond statistics. 9 acrobatic goals are not just numbers. They are statements about evolution. From youthful exuberance to seasoned mastery. From raw instinct to calculated execution. Each goal marked a different chapter in his career, different leagues, different opponents, different pressures. But the common thread remained: elevation. Literally and metaphorically. Why we remember. Football fans remember titles and trophies. But they replay moments. Children in playgrounds attempt bicycle kicks because of players like Ronaldo. They fall. They laugh. They try again. Because spectacle inspires imitation. And inspiration is the truest measure of greatness. When the ball rises behind him and Ronaldo chooses to leave the ground, he invites risk. But he also invites history. 9 times, he met the invitation. 9 times, he bent gravity into submission. 9 times, he reminded the world that football is not confined to turf, sometimes, it belongs in the air. And long after boots are hung up and stadium lights dim, those airborne silhouettes will remain, frozen in memory, suspended between earth and eternity.